Hello and welcome. So with Divination coming out in probably a couple hours from when this video actually goes live, I thought what better time to actually get my comp key back. Because I'm going to lose it for probably between a week, 2 weeks, to maybe a month. Because I'm not going to be able to even remotely come close to getting it for quite a while. Divination is supposed to be around, I believe Monmark said it was going to be around fishing XP, so that's like, what, 40-50k, depending on what Monmark thinks fishing is, because there's probably at least 2 good methods that he probably does not even know. So if you haven't noticed, in the past couple videos, except for the last one, I've been a little more cynical than I need to be about Runescape, and I gotta be honest, I still don't see the point of Divination in terms of just purely gameplay, not the reward, just the gameplay. I don't find it interesting, but something I have been missing for quite a while is when I actually do these quests, I actually do enjoy them. Even though they're low-level quests, even though the reward is just like useless. Even aside from all that, just the atmosphere of the game is fun. Even just doing the quest, even though I don't know, you get like it's a low-level quest, so even the reward isn't that great. But the atmosphere that you get from playing the quests, going through the motion, it just makes it fun. And I guess that's something I've been missing for quite a while, since I like put off all of this stuff probably for over a month now. While doing one of the completionist requirement, which was 1,000 charm sprites, I think it was, the weirdest thing happened is I've never done the minigame before. I didn't do it when it was the old charm sprites. I didn't do it on release when it was the reworked charm sprites. But being in there the first time, figuring out what to do, that was actually fun. I actually found collecting charm sprites kind of fun. What I found interesting was that there's a certain skill cap to it. Skill cap as in you can only get so good to a certain point. And that was mostly just precision clicking. Sure, that's easy to understand. But what I liked about it was that it was relatively hard to get the best rate per hour. It took me around, I think I was there for around 5 hours. A lot longer than I needed. I found it interesting to do for like maybe 5 minutes, but to do it consistently for an hour, that's kind of hard for me. So it took me a lot longer than it should have, but eventually I did get it done. So something I've been experimenting with is, with RS3 you could do the whole zoom in, zoom out thing. Aside from the cutscenes, it's kind of zoomed out to normal area, but where I'm actually in control, I'm trying to keep it zoomed in because you could see the characters a lot more detailed. Although, the thing that bugs me is I still don't like how the face looks like in RS. Everything else is fine, but it's just the face, there's something wrong with it. Being zoomed in, I kind of do like it. The only problem is I don't think RS is really designed around looking this zoomed in. Like when going through rooms, it constantly clips into the wall. When zoomed out, it's alright because you're looking from... Actually, you're looking up from pretty high up in the air. For the boss for this quest, the Death of Chivalry quest, even though it scales to your HP, which I don't think just increasing the HP is what you should do, although adding extra boss mechanics for a simple boss, I guess it doesn't matter too much, but just increasing the health, I think that's like a simplistic way to just solve the problem. But for the boss fight, I actually found, like, this entire quest, I turned all my sounds on. Yes, there are sounds in Runescape. And I gotta admit, the boss music was actually pretty nice. It set the mood right. It fit the story. It fit what happened. Probably not gonna say what happened due to... I didn't even know that this was the first 6th age quest. Not that that really means much, since I'm not sure what it actually entails for future quests at the moment. But yeah, the music fit the quest boss fight pretty well, especially for the story that was behind it. So if you haven't noticed, Jagex has been mostly making the early experience more fun. I'm not sure about easier, but it's more fun. From this quest, I did like it. There were Most of the quests I liked. The storyline is interesting where it's gonna go. I'm not it's pretty open right now, so I can't really say much about it. But I do like how they're tying in other storylines, how they're tying in other content. There was reference to God Wars where most of the ice scene, and it wasn't the unicorns, it was the centaurs. They were mostly wiped out from Ceridome and using them in the God Wars. Hopefully that leads to something cool. Maybe we could revitalize them somehow, but it's an idea. So after around, I think it took around 14 hours. 7 of those hours I was kind of looking at other stuff, but after all that I finally got the last thing done, which is the task system, which I'm not sure if anybody's ever done this, but has anybody ever done a guide where you do all of them at once? All of the easy, medium, hard, and elite mixed together? Assuming you have all the requirements for them, has anybody ever done a guide for just all of one area all at once? I know Ars Wiki does easy and medium, hard, and elite individually. Though that's okay. But I mean like all together to save time. Because I know I tried to do this when the Mauritania Tasta came out. It took me around 4 hours to get it all done. I got it all mapped out. I got my route I wanted to take. It would take around like 3 inventories. But I messed up at the end and didn't finish up with it. But I wanted to know if has anybody ever done that? So I finally got my completionist kit back, and I'm gonna lose it today-ish, but I'm okay with that, because honestly, I like the Dungeoneering cape look a whole lot better. The set difference, not too important. There's just something about the Dungeoneering cape that I like a whole lot better. Actually, what do you guys think? Do you guys like the comp cape or the Dungeoneering cape? Which, in your opinion, do you think looks better? But yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.